So the Crimson Tide are coming off of a phenomenal weekend. First and foremost, absolutely dismantling Mississippi State after the loss to A&M, answering a lot of questions and looking to take that momentum into the coming weeks. Sunday being named as the number 4 team in the nation, and this Crimson Tide group still feels like they have a lot left to prove, which might spell danger for everybody left in front. But today, the Crimson Tide continued winning, getting one of the top prospects in all of high school football, the number 85 overall player in the nation, Treqoun Fegans, cornerback, out of the state of Alabama to commit to the class, and we need to talk about why this is so big. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that Fegans is with the Crimson Tide? Let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions, though small, are massive to content creators such as myself in getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all of this being said, we need to talk about this because Treqoun Fegans was an individual who the Crimson Tide staff wanted, but he had originally committed to Miami. Upon decommitting from the University of Miami, a lot in the Crimson Tide fan base felt like there was a real good chance that Alabama could reunite with Fegans. A really talented DB prospect, he was an individual that Alabama coaching staff really would like to have gotten into this 22 cycle. Alabama has had a lot of success on the recruiting trail, which surprises nobody in this 22 cycle. The Crimson Tide running away with the number 1 class in the nation, which is really scary to think about when you realize how much room they have left in that class to grow and where they already sit. Alabama looks to be on the precipice of yet another phenomenal class, which is what we've come to expect from Nick Saban and company. But Treqoun Fegans is a really good get for a few different reasons. First and foremost, his talent. This is an individual who any college in the nation would have been over the moon to get a part of their class. He's an individual that looks to translate to the next level, and he has got a ton of upside. Being a top 15 corner in all of high school football, but also a top 100 player in the nation, shows you all you need to know. Every institution in the nation wanted this kid, and Crimson Tide fans need to feel very lucky that he ultimately rolls with the Tide. Charles Kelly and Freddie Roach continue to be bright spots for the Alabama Crimson Tide recruiting. Freddie Roach and Charles Kelly continue to be positive conduits for this Alabama Crimson Tide recruiting machine, but it doesn't just stop there because Fegans means a great deal to this class in terms of what they would like to accomplish in the DB position, especially. Alabama is looking to get some really talented DBs in this class. With Fegan amongst them, I can bet that the Alabama Crimson Tide staff would love nothing more than to get in an Earl Little Jr. and a Denver Harris to really start shoring up the DB class for the 22 cycle. Because there are a lot of talented DBs out there that Alabama is very high on, and that they are very high on Alabama. And look, let's get one thing straight. When you look in the NFL, it's easy to see why. Alabama has turned themselves into NFLU, and right now, one of the most exciting players in the entirety of the NFL, not related to just offense or defense, is an Alabama cornerback in Trayvon Diggs, who is absolutely playing lights out for the Dallas Cowboys. And you can bet your bottom dollar that recruits are watching that, understanding that Nick Saban is an individual that does this all the time. I mean, look at the DBs that Alabama has put into the NFL. It makes complete sense why a talented individual such as Fegans would look to come to the Crimson Tide after decommitting from Miami. Not only does he get to play for his home state team, but he also gets to play for the GOAT, who has an unbelievable track record of putting guys into the NFL, but putting DBs into the NFL, and then those DBs being very successful at the next level. But Fegans can be the first of many talented cornerbacks, and like I said, some other names to look for that Alabama would love to get in this class: Earl Little Jr. and Denver Harris. If Alabama can go out and get those two, it's already going to be very hard to pass Alabama as the number 1 class in this nation's cycle. But if they're able to add in those two guys, man, it's going to be a monumental task. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about the newest edition of Alabama's class. This class continues to be a sensational one. With only 17 individuals in this class, Alabama has by far and about the number 1 class in the nation, not only in points per 24/7 Sports, but in average recruit rank, which we talk about all the time. That average recruit rank is very important because that, to me, tells a really indicative story. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See you.